Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the Wade Shadow 6. So this is Way of Wade's kind of like really nice, good, bang for your buck basketball shoe, right? So you are getting full length Boom for only 120 bucks, which is kind of insane. So yeah, if you guys do want to cop, try to leave in the affiliate link in the description box. It'll be through my link tree. And yeah, also the Shadow 5 is available right now on sale for 100 bucks, which is a very good price. And Way of Wade has been killing it, and a lot of Chinese brands have been stepping up their game and giving a really good run for their money, comparing to like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. You know what I mean? Under Armour, but Adidas has been doing really well though. You know what I mean? Like a lot of their shoes are on the cheaper side of things, and their lineup is solid. But Nike. Yeah, Nike's been kind of falling apart in my personal opinion, you know what I mean? But anyways, now let's get it started off with the Tracciones. So we do have a very interesting kind of traction pattern. We have the Way of Wade logo at the ball of your foot. And it's also kind of decoupled. I mean, it is connected a little bit here with this rubber, you know what I mean? But pretty much it is a decoupled outsole. So yeah, it is using tough rubber, right? And tough rubber, they say is 2.5 times more durable than traditional rubber, and it is a shoe that is designed for outdoor use. So you should be fine on an outdoor court. You should be fine for durability. And also, if you're playing on a clean court, this shoe has a really nice bite, really solid stop, and you're gonna be pretty much stopping on a diamond. And also, like, any movement, if I was going pretty much laterally, I had a really good stop, going 45 degrees and also going straight forward, I had a really good stop. So if you're playing on a clean court, you should be fine. If you are playing on a dusty court, it's not terrible, but it's also not the best, you know what I mean? It definitely does pick up dust, but it was holding its own, especially comparing it to shoes like the LeBron 22 and also like the Tatum 3, right? So I was testing those shoes alongside the Shadow 6 and the LeBron 22, and also the Tatum 3 was picking up so much more dust than this shoe, right? And it's been pretty dusty in a lot of the back. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's getting colder and a lot drier. I guess like my lips are a lot more chapped nowadays, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But then it's been a lot dustier on the court these days, and this, again, like, this shoe does pick up a little bit of dust, but it's a really easy wipe, and it doesn't pick up dust that quickly either. You know what I mean? Like, it does pick up dust, but not super quickly. And if you keep up with your wipes, you still have really good stops. So you should be fine on the dusty court. I really honestly didn't mind playing on a super dusty court with the Shadow 6 that much. You know what I mean? I guess, like, if you're playing on a super dusty court, probably not the best option. Like, if you know your court is really dusty, right? But if you're playing on like a slightly or moderately dusty court, you should be fine with the Shadow 6 if you keep up with your wipes, right? So yeah, the traction is really nice. I really like playing in this shoe because of that. And now moving on to the heel to toe transition, it feels overall really nice and also kind of springy, right? So here in the heel, we have a nice rounded shape, and you can see all this rubber. It is super duper caged for the heel and also the entire cushioning setup pretty much, but it's actually quite soft. If you press it here on the bottom of the heel, there's a good amount of compression. It's soft, so it's not clunky at all in the heel, right? And then coming into the forefoot, we have a really nice curved shape too. So the overall shape is really smooth, and it feels really nice. And also, there is a fork-shaped plate that goes pretty much all the way here into the forefoot. It is TPU, so it's not as springy as, of course, like a carbon fiber plate. However, it does add for a little bit of springiness. Not super springy, but it adds for a little bit, It also is pretty dang flexible, so yeah, overall heel to toe transition is pretty smooth, has a little bit of springiness. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, which is my favorite part about the shoe. So like I said, it is using full length Boom, and it is fully exposed, or almost fully exposed, here on the medial side. And Boom is one of my favorite foams, you know what I mean? It's really soft, it's super lightweight as well. It doesn't add too much weight to the overall shoe. It has a nice bounce and also a lot of compression, right? So yeah, because it is really soft, they have to cage Boom, which makes sense. So yeah, here in the heel, like I said, there is a little bit of compression, but because of all this caging, it's kind of like keeping the boom inside, right? So I feel like because of the caging, it makes the overall cushioning setup a little bit bouncier, you know what I mean? So the one thing that I do like, of course, is the underfoot cushion, right? So the insole is just a regular insole. It doesn't add too much to the overall step and comfort, but underneath that, you can see a soft mesh struggle board, and it's extremely soft here in the heel, right? So the step and comfort, right? Right when you put on the shoe, you can feel the boom right underneath your foot, and then underfoot cushion, you can feel your foot digging into the boom, and as well as having a nice little bounce as well once you start playing, which does feel nice, right? So I really like that. The overall court feel is pretty good. I would say it's around average, slightly better than average. Here in the heel, it does get a little bit higher up off the ground, but the forefoot, it's a little bit lower to the ground. There definitely is a little bit of an offset. And overall impact protection is really nice too. You know, I had no issues with like, you know, landing hard here in the forefoot, and as well as heel strikes. I didn't really have any pain in my feet at all. So impact protection is great. So it's a really nice overall cushioning setup for guards, and especially for the price, 120 bucks. Usually for 120 bucks, you don't get a cushioning setup this nice. So yeah, I really like the cushioning setup here. And now moving on to the uppers. So there are two different types of uppers, right? So here in this Sunrise colorway, we have this really thin and very soft feeling kind of like textile mesh material, right? But there also is a leather material. I haven't, you know, played in it, and I don't have the leather material. However, I'm guessing it probably has a little bit more support, right? So if you want something a little bit more cozy, a little bit thicker, a little bit more supportive, probably, then probably get the leather material, right? But if you want something a little bit thinner, a little bit softer, and also better for airflow and ventilation, of course, then get the textile mesh material, right? So yeah, it is extremely freaking thin and really soft. They did add fuse going around the tip of the toe for extra support and durability, but yeah, it's just a really thin material. And then here in the midfoot, same thing, really thin. But I don't know what it is. It's not super supportive, but I didn't have any terrible issues with the shoe feeling really bad for support like in the Tatum 3, right? So yeah, as far as the tongue goes, the tongue has not a lot of padding. It's just like kind of there, you know, it's not super cozy on top of your foot. It's also a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. But one thing that I really don't like, however, is the laces. We have, what is this? You know what I mean? We have like bulge, it's like bulging out in some parts of the laces, you know what I mean? And it just does not keep the laces tied. The amount of times I had to freaking tie this shoe when I was playing, and even the double knotting didn't really help because it's just so thick, and also the laces aren't super long, so it's kind of hard to double knot this, right? So I really didn't like that. You know, I wish they would just give us regular laces, but anyways, doesn't really affect performance that much. And then here in the ankle area, we do have like an average amount of padding, not super cozy, but not super minimal either. So yeah, overall the quality, however, doesn't feel like the best. And also the durability with this textile mesh, I don't think is going to be good either. I feel like it'll probably wear out pretty quickly, especially here in the toe box. So just of course be careful with that. And I feel like the material quality is where they kind of like skimped out, you know, because of course the price. It is pretty dang cheap, and they are giving us full-length booms, so I guess it does make sense. But yeah, it does feel nice on foot. It's just not super supportive, right? And now moving on to the fit. So I went true to size, and this shoe fits me overall pretty dang well. It is a little bit roomy, and does get a little bit roomier once you break it in because it is this really soft textile mesh. It's not glued down at all. There's no underlaying fuse material or anything like that, so it does get a little bit roomier, right? So if you like a really snug fit, then obviously it's not the best, but again, it's not terrible. It's just like a normal snugness. Lengthwise, I'm good going true to size. There is a tiny bit of length. However, it's not super long, right? And then for the width, it's around normal width. So the overall fit is pretty good for me going true to size. If you have a wide foot, probably go up half a size, right? And now moving on to the support and lockdown. Okay, so again, like it wasn't terrible for me, right? So surprisingly, because for lateral containment, it actually wasn't that bad, you know? So it's not the best, you know. I can definitely feel my forefoot kind of stretching the material a little bit, but it wasn't coming out of the footbed like terribly, you know what I mean? So that surprisingly, I don't know why. So pretty much I was covered, you know, here in the forefoot. And then here in the heel, of course, we do have an internal TPU heel counter as well as this X, and it's just a really stiff feeling kind of heel, you know? Again, comparing it to the Tatum 3. I got the Tatum 3 right over here, so this shoe could have been really bad, like the Tatum 3, but again, like the Tatum 3 is just, It's just a little bit softer, a little bit stretchier, but also here in the heel, look at this. Look at that. You know what I mean? The Shadow 6 doesn't do that at all. You know, we have actually a really sturdy kind of feeling heel. So I feel like that actually helps a little bit. So lateral containment overall was pretty good. Again, it wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. Lateral stability, I had no issues with lateral instability. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna roll over and roll my ankle or anything like that. And overall, heel lockdown was really good for me as well. But if you are looking for a lot of support, then this isn't the best, especially for the material. But of course, there is the leather material option. Again, I haven't played in that one, so just take that with a grain of salt, but I'm sure it'll be a little bit more supportive than this, right? So there's that. Moving on to the weight of the shoe. If I remember correctly, it's around average, maybe a little bit lighter than average, I think, right? No, it's actually way lighter than average. 11.3 ounces. Check the other shoe. 11.35 ounces. So yeah, a regular kind of shoe, especially I like basically from Puma, if they were using like nitro foam with all this rubber, it would probably be around like 14 ounces, 13, 14 ounces, right? But because it is using boom foam, I feel like it probably lessens the weight a lot, right? So yeah, this shoe does feel very minimal and lightweight on foot, especially because the upper has very minimal padding, right? And also when you're playing in it, you feel pretty dang responsive. Not the most responsive feeling shoe because like, you know, the cushion is a little bit softer and then also the material is a little bit softer. But again, it wasn't terrible. I feel like if you're a bigger dude and you need a lot of support, probably this isn't the best option, but I also don't think it'll be terrible. It'll probably be around adequate for you guys, right? For the bigger people. But for me, it was good. I had no issues with feeling slow. This shoe, again, did feel pretty dang responsive to me. Overall ventilation also is extremely good. You have a lot of airflow through this textile material here in the toe box, also here in the midfoot, and also on the bottom part of the tongue. And then aesthetically, this shoe looks pretty dang good. I love the unique design of it, right? We can see the Way of Wade logo here in the heel, which looks really good. I love the gradient as well. And some of the other colorways that are, I mean, pretty much all the colorways that are out look really nice. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. As far as the durability goes, again, I don't think this upper is going to be super durable. And also for the eyelets, we just have like this cord, and it's not a super thin cord, so I don't think it'll be like, it'll like rip or tear, but it's also kind of like stitched to this part of the upper, you know what I mean? So I don't think it'll be the best for durability. Like if you're playing with this a lot and you really tighten down on your laces, I feel like this might go, you know, so just be careful with that. And now wrapping things up, yeah, so if you are looking for a very nice well-cushioned shoe with great traction and also a shoe that feels extremely lightweight, then this is a great option. I feel like for guards, it'll be really nice. So if you're playing on an indoor court, you should be fine. Also, if you're playing on an outdoor court, especially if you're a guard, this is a great option. Again, if you are doing a lot of toe drags, however, I don't think this will be the best option with this material choice. Probably get the leather, but again, like I feel like it's a really good shoe for guards. If you're a bigger dude, I feel like it should be okay. Again, like this upper is not super supportive. So just be careful with that, and then get the leather material option. But I don't know how supportive that material is, so of course take that with a grain of salt. But the cushion definitely is there if you are a big dude, right? So I definitely did enjoy playing in this shoe, and I definitely feel like it is a shoe that has really good value for the price. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to you guys. Is it my favorite hoop shoe though? I don't think it's my favorite, but I definitely did enjoy and have fun playing in this shoe, right? So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the Wade Shadow 6. Again, if you guys want to copy, try to leave the free link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.